Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Valor Global Learning Center's professional development. We'll be talking about bridging the gap to the future. Um, the reality is, as an online education service, we rely upon online education, virtual technology. And so, one of the things that is just a natural part of what we do at Valor is dealing with innovation. And we want to talk today about the fact that innovation is not always something that everybody gets excited about. I know that. It's really kind of interesting that God, He does have a sense of humor. The fact that He has chosen me to be one of the leaders at Valor Global, when you figure that I got a lot of Luddite in me. I like paper. A couple of years ago for Father's Day, my daughter didn't get me the book called The History of Computers. She got me a book called The History of Paper, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I like paper. I still like paper, but we live in the 21st century, and virtual online education is simply what we do. So I recognize the fact that we've got five different groups of folks sitting out in the audience. We got my innovators. These are the folks that said, Mr. McNamer, we need to do this because this is so cool. It is better than sliced bread, and we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do this. And this is the group I say, hey, you guys go ahead and go for it. You guys do the research, you do the legwork, you show me how it can benefit our school. And I'm excited about these guys. These are folks like Peter that, they were, hey, Jesus, is that you? Well, tell me it's you, and I'll get out of the boat and I'll come walk on water. Hey, Jesus, is it you? I'm going to follow you wherever you go. And so I love these guys. I love this group of folks, because I need them. I know sometimes that everybody else thinks they're a little weird. I know sometimes in our big group professional development sessions, they go really, really fast. And some of you other folks are sitting back there, because I've been there going, okay, you've completely lost me. But I love you guys. We need you. We need you, Peters, in the group, because you're the ones that keep pointing us at this is what we can do, and this is where we can go. I love my unit leaders. I love my early adopters. You guys, the heads of each of my department, my history chief and my English chief, my math teacher, science chief. You are the guys. You're the folks that I rely upon, because you're already been working on. We're about ready to roll everything out to the entire staff, and you are the ones that have been doing so much of the groundbreaking works, because you've taken the ideas you've gotten from the innovators, and you've been plugging away at it. You've been working at it and finding what works and finding out what doesn't work, because the key thing for you is you're like the Apostle John. You are the one, you're the folks that everybody trusts, that everybody goes to. And you are the one that sees, okay, here's the innovation, here's the technology, but this is how we have to work in the classroom. And so you're able to see what we need to do and what holes and what pitfalls there might be. And so you guys are so incredibly invaluable. And I'm going to be leaning on you guys, because you're the ones that are going to be doing professional development sessions for your units, and you'll be the ones that will be doing the one-on-one sessions with the folks that might take a little bit longer to adopt and understand the innovations and the changes we're trying to make. Then I love my group, my early majority folks. You guys are out there. You're the ones that are wearing, you're the ones wearing gold and blue, and you're the ones that are always dressed up on spirit days, and you're the guys that go to the football games and the basketball games, and you're the folks that can't wait for us to do goofy things in professional development sessions, because just like, if it's for the team, it's got to work. I trust the administrators. I trust my unit leaders. Hey, let's go do this. You are a lot like John Mark. John Mark, who, the first time out, he didn't do so good. He goes with Barnabas and Paul, and he checks out before it even gets tough, before Paul and Barnabas get tossed in prison. But after he does some ministry time with Barnabas one on one, he gets to the point in his life where he's actually being asked for by the Apostle Paul. We see Paul there in the epistles writing, saying, hey, when John Mark shows up, I need you to send him. I need him ASAP, because I need him. He's valuable for my ministry. So, I love you, early majority folks. Thank you very much. You guys rock. You help move the ball along. I love this fourth group. This fourth group is this guy by the name of Rogers, who back in the 1960s did research and studied on the diffusion of innovation. And he talks about different groups of adopters. Well, my late majority folks, that's 34% of my staff. I love you guys, and you guys are so important. You're like Thomas. The thing with Thomas always gets a bad rap, because Thomas says, well, I guess Thomas didn't have any faith because he had to see the holes in Jesus's hands and his side and stuff before he would buy that this was actually a resurrected Messiah. Well, I guarantee you that Thomas is not the only guy in the room asking those questions. And the problem for people like Thomas, and I've been there, I've been that guy in the group said, hey, I don't get this. I don't agree with this. Um, I'm the one doing the talking, but I got a whole lot of folks back here sitting with me going, hey, I'm with Mike. I don't get it. I don't understand. Um, so it's really an unfair label to put on him. He's doubting Thomas. He's not doubting Thomas. He just had questions. He just had questions that he needed to have proof of before he would do it. Well, you know what? Just about everybody in this room, and matter of fact, I would guarantee everybody in this room at one point or another has been in Thomas's shoes. But if you look at what Thomas does with his life after the visit in the upper room, after he puts his hands in those holes, this guy goes on to take the gospel to India and is martyred in India for his faith. I mean, he goes further than any of the other apostles. Of the original apostles, he goes geographically further than anybody else. This guy, once he's got it, he is a rock star and he is sold out. And that leads me to my last group, the what Rogers calls the laggards. I love you guys. I need you guys. And here's the deal: of all my staff, you are the ones most sold out to tradition of what we've always done at Valor. And one of the challenges I know whenever we start talking about innovation, yep, innovation's a little scary. Yep, it's not something we've done before, but you are so loyal. You are so loyal to what we do as an institution. I just need you guys. I understand it's going to take some time for some of you to buy into the innovation. You're going to have all the uncertainty erased, not just uncertainty on how it's going to affect you as a person, but really the uncertainty about how it's going to affect the legacy and the tradition of what Valor has been for so many years. I promise you, we are not going to introduce anything that is going to take away from take away from what Valor does. I truly believe that what we're getting ready to roll out innovation wise are changes that are just going to make Valor that much better. It will make it easier and more conducive to you all being able to reach out and minister to those kids that we haven't been able to reach before. Those kids in Aguacate, Honduras, that they got a cell phone and that's it. And they live 700 feet above sea level and they don't have anything. Or those kids in Yoro, Honduras, where they're out in the middle of nowhere and they don't have anything. Those are the kids that the innovations we're getting ready to introduce are really going to help us to achieve. Ultimately, I understand that the biggest thing, one of the most important things that we can help you guys see is the fact that these innovations work. And I know for some of you, you're going to buy into it and you're going to believe it before you see it. And you're going to believe it even while you're working through the clunks and the issues, because it's going to happen. I know it will. As soon as we get live students, things come up and we just have to have time to work on it. For the rest of you, I just need you to trust us. I need you to get with the early adopters and get with the unit leaders and get with the innovators and get with these folks that have already understood and bought into it and just say, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to make it work because we believe. We believe in the team. We believe in the system. And there's absolutely nothing that we're going to do that would hurt Valor and our mission that God has given us. I want to throw out a couple more examples. We mentioned the Apostle Peter and how he was an innovator, and how the Apostle John was that guy that everybody went to, and how John Mark was one of those early majority guys that, yep, at first it didn't quite work, but once he got it, he had it, he's locked in, and he's doing amazing stuff. And we talked about Thomas, and we talked about how he didn't understand it first, but once he got it, he was a rock star. And then you got the Apostle Paul. I mean, Apostle Paul is the best example of a laggard I can think of. I mean, he didn't get it at first, but once he got it, look out. I mean, this guy writes 2/3 of the New Testament. He takes the gospel to Rome. He'd have taken it to Spain if he'd had time. If we're truly going to be Christ-like leaders, the biggest thing is that we have to be willing not to look at the speed of change or the speed of adoption, but we have to remember, and this is something I have to remember, and I remind my leaders every day, we have to look at your heart, and we have to remember the value that you have as an individual of being part of this team. And it's not about the rate of change. It's the fact that you're part of our team. God has called you to be part of Valor. And because of that, we're in this together and we are going to make this innovation work, not for me, not because of me, but because it's going to help our kids. and it's going to help us reach more kids and more parents and more teachers. And that's the whole reason why Valor Global Academy exists. Bless you guys. You have a great day, and thanks for coming.